For today's wild encounters, I'm going to take you off the rugged, wild coast of South Africa. There are two amazing dive sites, which are essentially a shoal or a ridge parallel to the coastline of KwaZulu-Natal. They are covered in little caverns and canyons and little caves. And during the winter months, every year, these huge aggregations of ragged-toothed sharks or sand tiger sharks come together for mating purposes. Now, these are large sharks. They're stocky. They've got a big pointy nose and fierce-looking teeth. Now, they've got these rows of teeth all the way coming out, and they just kind of cruise around in this slow motion. To get to these sharks, you have to get in these zodiacs. Now, to get out there is quite the adventure because you've got to get through these big surf zones. Now, these are very experienced captains. You've got to strap your feet in on these large zodiacs and you hold on for dear life as they navigate their way through the white water, over these huge waves, and then get out a few kilometers offshore where you then get ready for your exhilarating dive that's about to happen. The lead guide goes ahead with a long line and a buoy attached to the top. He gets to the bottom and tries to find one of the caverns and then ties it off. Now, why a buoy line? Why a line? Well, a lot of times you get these strong currents that just cruise along these ridges, and also it's quite turbid water. The visibility can be quite limited in South Africa. So what happens is he goes ahead, everybody else kind of follows down the line. Now your heart's pumping because you know you're in predator water. Now on the way down, you'll often see hammerhead sharks, bronze whalers, even bull sharks that will come up to investigate. So it gets the old heart rate going, and you're now going to deep depths. So you're going 30, 40 meters to get down to this ridge. Now the rope is tied off at the base of this cavern, and so we then get down there, and as you come down, usually visibility improves dramatically, and you come out of this soup and the clear water down deep, and then you suddenly see these large shapes of slow-moving sharks down below you. Now sometimes you can get 100, 150, even 200 of these ragged-toothed sharks, which can grow 3 meters in length. And so you now see all these sharks down below you. It's like a soup of sharks just slowly moving, and you then place yourself right in the midst of these caverns, out of the current. You get down there, and you're just like with your back against the wall in the cavern, watching these sharks just circle around inside these caverns. Now, it's quite intimidating because they'll come very close, and with those fierce-looking teeth, they look quite scary, but they're really quite a harmless shark. Now, one of the cool stories, one time I was getting a little cocky and a little confident with these slow-moving sharks, and we had this huge raggy come right towards us. Now, I was sitting there with a guest right opposite me, and the shark was just literally going to come right between us. And as I look, I can see this one tooth just dangling off the bottom of its lip, ready to fall off, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. So I put my arm out, and I'm just about to touch that tooth, and of course they've got those ampullae of Lorenzini, electromagnetic field, they've got all these sensors. The second I got closer, this thing took off. Now we're talking a shark that's hundreds of kilos, stout, stocky, and bolts off like a rocket. And it literally was one of those like, whoa, what just happened there? And I think it was with Chris. I just looked across at Chris, and he just also, his eyes were like this big. Of course, I didn't get the tooth, but it was one of those like wow experiences. And it also showed the power of these animals and that they really can move fast if they have to. So this is one of the ragged-toothed shark's teeth, toothy teeth. So these have very unique shape. Now look at this tooth compared to a tiger shark tooth. Now the tiger shark teeth, as you can see, they're really made to cut things apart or saw things apart. Yeah, then you've got also bull shark teeth. Look at that, you can see very distinctly triangular shape. They really are like a great white shark just to come in, but they've still got that little bit of ragged edge to them. And then you've got these ragged tooth teeth, shark teeth. Now look at that. How unique is that? So they're really to hold on to prey. Now they've got rows and rows of these teeth, and they slowly come out like that, gradually coming out, and then they fall down onto the floor. So inside these caverns in the sand where you're kneeling down, you kind of, after you've had your first impression and wonderful experiences of these sharks, you then start looking down between your knees because this is what you can find down there. These amazing little treasures. So that's just one of many shark stories. Now this weekend, I'm going to do another live lecture talk. So please join me for our shark stories as they continue. I've got a big segment on South Africa because there's lots of different sharks in South Africa. It probably is my favorite shark destination. And so join me on Sunday. I'm going to talk lots of stories. I'll get you all excited about these amazing creatures. Happy days.